Hi everyone, welcome back to yet another interesting discussion on a case study done on success story in telecom by mCanvas, Vodafoneidea and GroupM. I would like to welcome our speakers for the session, Vishal Rupani, co-founder and CEO, mCanvas, Niraj Ruparel, head mobile and emerging tech, GroupM. Now before requesting Niraj to take over, I'm going to request all the delegates to keep posting their questions in the chat box and we'll address a selected few at the end of the session. Over to you, Niraj.
All right, hello guys, this is Niraj here. Look forward to this case study presentation, one of our most favorite cases in 2019, which has won us like tons and tons of headlines, you can say, and awards as well. So would love to share this with you. This was being deployed for our client Vodafoneidea in partnership with mCanvas. So I'll just give you a brief gist on the entire brief when this brief came to us sometime last year when Idea was rolling out their mega campaign, which is India Ka Live Network. And the key tagline was India Dekh Raha Hai Live. So there are two keywords which I picked up from the entire brief, which is video and live video per se. And the idea was always looking at establishing the power of the network. The network strength is all-time high. So if you look at the network, the maximum bandwidth gets consumed, the least gets consumed on text, then it's video, and then the most gets consumed when it's a live video kind of format, right? So two keywords which were like ringing on our mind, which is live and video, and what is that we can do with it. So brief was pretty clear. Anything that we do on Vodafoneidea and brand idea, it has to be high impact, never being done before, something which industry has never seen. This is a usual brief which you get from Idea, looking at the large market share and massive promotion when they roll out their campaigns, and they're looking at absolute impact-driven platforms as well. So here, while we were looking at this particular brief, one of the choices which we have was to run a regular banner ad and create a lot of scale out there. Another one, what we saw was the HTML5 creatives. A lot of work which we've done in the past, which is on HTML5 for, still remember those days we used to kickstart with campaigns with airlines, crossing a screen with a banner rolling on top of it, created voice-activated creatives as well. Tons and tons of work on HTML5, but those are all usual work which we have done in the past now. And display, as we all know, it's a format which sometimes go completely blind for the audiences. Too many display banners, a lot of cluttered space. Ads go annoying at times, and people actually click and report the ads. So the more and more there was a need of storytelling through banner ads for advertisers. And here in this case, we thought of a very unique campaign. Just go next. Yeah, so I think there was a need for something more disruptive of this caliber. And while we were working on this product, the idea was to create something which can appeal to all sectors and all category of audiences, not just, I would say, for one particular brand, but a format or a product which can be created, which is seamlessly integrating in the media space. So users or the clients can actually end up buying media, and this product can be stitched as part of a media solution. So there was a need to create something really disruptive in this market. That's when we thought about this technology, which kind of seamlessly weaves in voice and video as a hybrid solution. So what we did here was, so a lot of work has gone into it, and Vishal the man who created it, is going to take us through the solution in detail. But all in all, what we're trying to say is when you run your regular ads, it goes touch boring. To spice it up and create something which is really magical, which something the industry has never seen before, this particular solution was being devised. Now, the beauty of this solution is we don't ask audiences to download an application onto your phone and experience this, which is a typical way when you're trying to create something which is linked to AR and web AR and stuff like that. You expect user to do a lot of action. Here, this was a natural way of people coming in, consuming content on XYZ site, and they get exposed to this creative, and something magical happens to them, and that becomes the talk of the town. So that's exactly what we did for Vodafoneidea on this case. So let's hear it from Vishal now.
Great. Good afternoon, everyone. And first of all, thank you to IAMAI for giving us the opportunity to present this case. So it was carrying forward where Niraj left off, which is What we created is the world's first video chatbot that ran on mobile web. And we had the face of the campaign, Malika Dua, have an actual video conversation with the user through an ad. And like Niraj mentioned, this ad seamlessly appeared between editorial content, and when users chose to voluntarily engage, it would start the experience. And more importantly, the users did not have to download any kind of SDK, any plugin, nothing in the app. It was just very seamlessly built in through the browsing experience on mobile web. Right? Let me show you what that was.
To spread awareness of the power of live video, Idea 4G needed a concept that had never been done before in the digital mobile ad space. The biggest challenge was educating the audience to use live video as a great tool to force wrongdoers into changing their behavior, which was not possible through the regular media channels. We created a voice-enabled video chatbot that allowed the users to talk to the face of the campaign.
Hi guys, I'm Malika Dua, and today I'm about to fulfill your lifelong dream of interviewing me.
The user could ask Malika anything about the power of live video or general questions that a fan would ask a celeb by simply tapping on the mic icon. The experience was designed to be seamless and resemble a live video call, with the user's own face also seen on the screen. Trending questions were prompted at the bottom of the screen, which the user could scroll through and ask. This innovation uses artificial intelligence, which listens to user questions to identify the language and combines machine learning technology to accurately assign a relevant answer.
Excuse me, I was going to ask a name.
How would you change people's behavior?
By holding them accountable for their actions. And this works both ways. So अगर किसी ने आप पे इल्जाम लगाया है तो आपके पास भी प्रूफ होगा कि आपने नहीं किया, और दूसरे इंसान के पास भी लाइव वीडियो में प्रूफ होगा कि इसने ये किया है या नहीं किया है. So it's pretty mutual.
A closing screen allowed the users to get idea by clicking on the CTA and visiting the website.
Right. So what you just saw is the experience a user would see when they are casually, let's say, browsing their favorite website. They choose to engage with the ad. This experience comes up and they literally start talking to Malika Dua in real time, just like you and I could do on a WhatsApp video chat today. Right? But now you may be wondering, what is the point of all of this besides it being innovative? So here are some results for the campaign. I'm going to skip to my backup slides. Right. So we reached about 7.2 million users with the campaign. It witnessed an impressive 2.2% click-through rate, which is over 10 times the interest compared to the 0.2% industry average for mobile banner ads, right? We've kind of disrupted the problem Niraj spoke about earlier, which is banner ads are annoying. They have the standardized click-through rate versus this experience. And more importantly, on average, users spend over 22 seconds engaging with the ad, which itself is an exceptional performance given that users hate ads on mobile. Beyond that, we saw several users were spending more than 10 minutes asking as many as, so in fact, one user asked 39 questions to Malika Dua.
We was in love with Malika.
Absolutely. So, right, most of the questions asked were related to campaign. There were many basic and general questions that you today would ask maybe a Siri or an Alexa. Right? So a large number of users start the conversation with a hi, a hello, that hey, will you marry me, or are you able to hear me? Right? Some of these questions suggest to us that the users thought of this experience as a real-time video chat and not something that was pre-recorded. While it was pre-recorded, it was so seamless for the user. When the user asks a question in real time, we determine what the person's asking and play the right video at a backend, so that for the user, it's a live chat with Malika Dua. This campaign was greatly appreciated by the industry in India as well as globally, and we got some great media coverage for this. With our biggest feature coming from Ads of the World. Now, over to Niraj to share his perspective of how the campaign fared.
So like I said, like I started, I think this won us a lot of headlines in 2019, one of the iconic campaigns. And if you were to talk about the use cases, it just cuts across. It's not just telecom, which is the one use case which we are presenting to initially. This was being thought of for a pharma client when we were looking at getting a doctor live on a pharmacy-led application or a portal and get this kind of seamless conversation going. So like we said, we also learned a lot from this particular campaign, that if you're running dead banners, how can you make it more engaging by running an HTML5 creative? How can you make it more a live experience by deploying platforms like mCanvas, which is built by mCanvas for us in this case. So innovation can drive massive engagement. And what it can propel is more and more user would spend more time on this unit, which increases your chances of user going ahead and purchasing the product, because you're giving that actual flavor of the product which you're demonstrating. You're getting the KOL or the key opinion leader or the face of the particular brand talking to the audience is there, and millions of audiences again, because it's a banner integrated unit like Vishal explained. So the chances of person engaging with the creative is much higher. The audiences can actually end up buying the product, and that's the need of the hour. All advertisers today are looking at an e-com plugin. So this seamlessly creates some level of disruption, drives a lot of engagement, helps you kind of articulate the product or the proposition which you are trying to demonstrate, and eventually helps the user buy the product as well. Now, there are a couple of learnings also we got on this particular project is we could have read into the tactical festivities which are happening in that phase. So I still remember Vishal coming back to me and telling me that a lot of people wishing Malika happy Holi. And ideally, we should have, because of Holi period, we could have ideally taken a happy Holi answer or a footage or a clip from Malika Dua. So when people come and say, hey, Malika, happy Holi, the creative could play saying that, happy Holi, guys, you know. So that tactical phase is something we learned that we should have created. If you're running a phase, which is a festive phase or a Diwali phase, you should get some kind of greetings going there. There is a way to nudge certain unwanted questions that was being brilliantly done by mCanvas in this case. So all in all, super impactful campaign, a lot of learnings for us, and basis all the learnings which we gathered from this campaign, we improvised and we did a lot of other campaigns which kind of helped us take it to the next level. Quickly, let's go to the next slide. Okay, quickly summarizing, I would say the use for this particular technology is unparalleled with 5G coming in. You can actually load up currently, if we had about 25 set of questions which were loaded in as part of the creative, this can go all the way to 25,000, you know, and you can actually relay it back onto the own media state of the brand. So if a brand is, say, for example, owning a platform where people come and fetch a lot of recipe content, you can have Sanjeev Kapoor's bot resting out there, and he's going to fetch through AI a lot of content and throw back content back. So suddenly your dead dumb real estate of applications would have all these video widgets popping in there. Seamless voice plus video hybrid. You can leave in a command, whether it's English, Hindi or English. It reads it, throws the content back. That makes it absolutely special. And now another variant which Vishal said that he's working on is to allow the celeb to actually relay content in runtime. So like let's take back the example of Malika Dua, a lot of people wishing her happy Holi, and we never had a creative there. So now with the advanced tech which Vishal is working on, maybe the same question can be relayed back to Malika. She can answer in runtime, that gets ported back onto the server, and people who are asking real-time questions can also be addressed. So that makes it absolutely special in runtime, because a lot of clients came back to me and said that this is too broad. A lot of questions can come to the celebrities. I understand some of which we can dodge it, but some of it would be relevant. So how do you manage that? So with 5G coming in, the quantum of questions, the library going up, and Vishal and his tech team adding a lot of part to this, I see a lot of use cases coming in for this tech in near future. Questions, guys?
Yeah,
if there are any. I think we've done too much of evangelizing and circulation on this case study. I think prior to the session, I was telling them that how much we have spent time talking about it across our clients now, including me, both me and Vishal. I think every forum we've been talking about this case now. So any questions would be happy to answer.
So, Niraj, question one. Assuming that a brand has successfully made an innovation in its product, what are your key suggestions to that brand in aligning its product innovation with the brand identity?
You want to take that, Vishal?
Wow. Mister, do you mind repeating the question for me?
Sure. Assuming that a brand has successfully made an innovation in its product, what would your be key suggestions to that brand in aligning its product innovation with the brand identity?
Wow, that's a very, very broad question. Now, what you want to do is you want to go back to the basics of principles of marketing, right? Your marketing messaging has to reflect in everything that you do. Now, when you say what a suggestion to align the brand with its innovation is, now the way you saw in the example that we showcased, right? The core proposition idea I had to make here was how do we portray the concept of live video? And that's exactly what we made contextually relevant and portrayed through the ad, right? We didn't bring up any kind of benefits or move to the network because of these XYZ benefits. We actually had people participate in that. We made it fully contextual relevant to their setting. We associated closely for what the messaging they wanted, and we created the entire concept, of course, ideated by the GroupM team, but everything came together very well and was fully aligned with how the best we could in terms of the brief given to us. Now, if the gentleman or the lady who asked this question can be a little more specific, I'm happy to go in more detail, or Neeraj, if there's something you want to add, please do.
I think the question was super broad though, but you got it. But let's ask the person if they got the answer, or they want to deep dive and spend more time on this. Because I would see, like I said, the relevancy is pretty high. User is not downloading any application on his phone. It's seamlessly being stitched with media across 40 top sites in India with a 4 crore reach in a month, which is the highest scale you can ever get. For the brands who are looking at scale and deploying this campaign, there's an opportunity here. This tech can be a part of your own media estate. Like I said, you own an application, you have an audience is sitting out there, put an SDK out there, and you'll have widgets or bots popping in from the application. That makes it really special. So you have an audience, we can relay this experience for you. Or if you don't have an audience, we can use our media might and get this experience going. All you need to have is a familiar face, which is definitely not me and Vishal. You need Salman Khan.
All right, thank you. Second question, if you had to roughly quantify how much focus should be given to innovation versus brand building, what would it be?
Oh, wow. These are all, my teams are only sitting there and asking me these questions. These are such repetitive questions. I would say, see, when we address a brief, we would always say that 10% of your funds or media budgets on large mega projects which you're launching, you should park it on test and learn and new technology and budding technology platforms. Because a lot of it, you need to pilot it and see whether it works for you. And then only you can look at scaling. So about 10% of your budget should be parked on test and learn, especially when you're looking at mega launches and you're spending millions of dollars on a campaign launch. Why not experience all these new tech solutions which guys like mCanvas and so many other players in the market are working on. And we've been, like, as GroupM, 100% instrumental in driving all these innovations.
So if I may add a little bit here, right? The question what should be the focus given to innovation versus branding? To me, it's not the question of versus, right? If not, it's not a if else situation out here. Innovation is part of your brand building exercise, right? Now, when you create an innovation such as what we showcase, you're helping your user remember your brand better. You're helping create a memory for them that they had this interactive experience versus, again, compared with what you see today on a standard display banner ad, right? It's a carousel, just a simple video or something moving, something animated, versus when you can get a user to actually spend 20, 25 seconds, you're getting the person to remember your brand, right? So this innovation is actually part of your brand building, and it's not that if else question, or if not this, then what?
That's classic Vishal and his storytelling, always up to some storytelling, whether it's banner or anything else. And we keep, just for the audience, he's been my go-to person for almost like 2 years on anything wacky I think of, including this one. But there's a recent one, I was talking to him when BMC made that release saying that now you can cough on an application, you come to know that whether you need a COVID test or not. Bang goes my call to Vishal saying that let's do it on a banner, let people cough on the banner and we tell them you need a COVID test or no. So hold your horses, you have to go slow, you cannot just rush the gun. But the similar tech is also being launched for tuberculosis check on an application. So why not? You can look at solutions like this emerging from these conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Your creative is only limited by your imagination.
Yeah,
you can try so many different ways in so many different sectors, whether it be to educate someone or to market your product or just to relay a general message. So many applications can be created by something like this.
Absolutely.
We
have about a minute more questions.
No, I'm getting a notif. It's time. The time is up.
Time up. Okay, super. It was awesome chatting with you, Vishal. And thanks so much, IMAI. for this opportunity.
Thank you, Vishal. I'm going to conclude the session by thanking our sponsors as well. ShareChat, Telesign, Blind Digital, and Nielsen. Thank you. Stay tuned.